Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more afterward from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
The Philippines Top Cop sees no need to revive the war on drugs, which was a hallmark of the previous administration. This statement by newly appointed PNP Chief General Romel Francisco Marbil appears to repudiate the announcement of Davao City Mayor Sebastian Duterte, who adopted his father's anti-drug campaign. For Marbil, this course of action is not necessary to achieve a drug-free community. He also says he will not order police personnel to increase the number of drug-related arrests.
Wala po kaming gera dito eh. Hindi ito gera na kailangan mo it's more of talaga na paano natin mabababa yung crimes natin based on sa mga parameters natin. I don't want to say na may drug war. Puno sa parang gera na naman kami.
The deaths from Davao City operations against illegal drugs since the mayor's declaration remain at 7. Several police personnel have since been relieved to give way to investigations over the drug-related deaths. Marbil also rules out a revamp in the PNP. Just last year, the PNP underwent a major overhaul after Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos Jr. asked for the resignation of top PNP officials amid government's probe into the possible involvement of senior officers in the illegal drug trade. Back then, President Marcos accepted the courtesy resignation of 18 third-level officers of the PNP. Several police officers were also charged with drug-related offenses.
No, I do not do that. Kasi pagka ginawa mo yung reshuffle na yun, magiging unstable yung unit eh. Wala namang kasalanan yung mga police natin to reshuffle. That's lahat naman to eh. Ang ginagawa na namin, we will be coming with a better parameter for them to be measured. Kung hindi mo kaya to, then we will give you a chance to improve. Kung hindi mo talaga kaya, then we will get a better commander.
To weed out scalawags in uniform and improve the performance of their personnel, Marbil prefers raising their standards instead of implementing internal cleansing.
Kailangan lang natin, hindi po internal cleansing, we just come up with a better parameter, better measurements for our policemen na dapat itong standard na habulin nyo. Kung you cannot cope with the standard, then we will anyway teach you how.
One major change, he says, is banning police personnel from using cell phones while on duty.
This is my first and last warning. No cell phone during duties. We need patrols. Pagka nahuli ka namin ng cellphone, there will be no forgiveness.
Cybercrime is also a major concern for Marbil, who plans to hire experts and invest in facilities to improve their capacity to combat this growing threat.
Coming from their best start to the year since 2019, Asian equity benchmarks traded in narrow range Tuesday as traders recalibrate Fed rate cut expectations following solid economic data out of the U.S. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index outperformed, with Xiaomi among the best performing stocks following the debut of its electric vehicle. Here at home, the PSE index slipped by 1/3% to close at 6960 after earlier testing 7,000 intraday.
We're seeing foreign inflow-backed rallies right now, and that's what's really encouraging about the rallies, that that we're seeing now, especially the net foreign buying part. We have seen consecutive days of net foreign buying in the first quarter of this year, and having those high volumes, high NFB, consecutive days of NFB support price action. We think that really gives credibility to the uptrend that we're seeing now.
In corporate stories, Cprtv, the Philippines' first and largest renewable energy REIT, which got fresh capital injection following its share sale to SM Investments last week, posted a 12% growth in 2023 income to 1.4 billion pesos, its second year as a full-fledged REIT company. This on the back of strong guaranteed base lease, augmented by new properties acquired in 2023. That's 7 parcels of land totaling 5.12 million square meters of value-accretive assets. The company's unique green asset portfolio growing 4.3 times since its IPO in 2022. Still in earnings after PAL Holdings' blowout results, another Lushotan company, this time Macro Asia, an aviation support service provider, reports 2023 bottom line more than doubled to nearly 1.1 billion pesos as revenue hit a record. It cites a strong rebound of its core aviation services units, supported by business units that rapidly grew with non-aviation related revenue sources. It notes about 2 billion, or 24% of its full-year revenue came from activities outside of the airport, in contrast to 2019, where non-aviation revenues amounted to only 7% of consolidated revenues. The food segment saw revenue jump 74% for the year, while revenues from the water business went up 20%. Meanwhile, the Gokongwei's JG Summit confirmed setting 2024 capex budget at 87.2 billion pesos, down 12% year-on-year. The bulk is going to Cebu Air, which is spending nearly 49 billion for additional aircraft acquisition, while Robinson's Land is getting around 22 billion to expand the commercial spaces of its malls and offices, as well as build more hotel rooms. While its food manufacturing unit, C2 and chippy maker Universal Robina, is getting around 13 billion to construct and outfit its plants, including the 31-hectare Malvar property.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in this court.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
I think the norm for our community has been to just stay silent and keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer that question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be someone to start that conversation.
Yeah. You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents.
This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is the perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Times has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting person in this section of our interview, and his name is Mr. Richard Kaufman, originally from New York, and he is a book author. He's here today to talk about his first written novel. And well, welcome to our show, Mr. Kaufman.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Miss Layden.
All right. And let me see. Okay, we can start the interview now. Okay, you said this is your first novel.
That is correct.
What is the title of your novel?
The title of the novel is Played: The Games of the 1936 Berlin Olympics.
Oh, very interesting. And this is a novel, of course. And
Yep.
right. Okay, please tell our viewing audience first thing, your background.
Well, I went to Emerson College in Boston, where I studied writing and acting and advertising. And that's where I met my writing partner. And we were fraternity brothers, and we've been writing for the last 35 years. And this was always a topic that we were very interested in. I personally, because my great uncle was denied the right to play in the Winter Games in 1936 because he was Jewish. So I've always had a fascination with this story. And the more and more research we did, the bigger of a story we found. And we found that the word played was perfect because it's a double entendre and because there were so many games played behind the scenes.
Wow. Discrimination at that early age. All right.
A very large part of it was discrimination on both sides, not just the Germans, but us as well.
Okay. So in the book, you were talking about the Olympics of that year, right? And also, so how does the story revolve? And
well, it starts with the early planning of the Olympics when the Germans were first announced that they would be the host city in 1931. And then from there, that's where we start the story. And then from there, it takes off and you start to meet all the players that were involved, not only in the building of the event on both the German and the American side and all over the world, but also the athletes preparing for the games and all the machinations behind the politics that were being played as Germany became Nazi. So during that time, it was a very tumultuous time between 1931 and 1936. And that happens to be the time our story is set. And so our story is set on an epic scale. And in reality, even though it is a novel, everything that happened. So it unfolds like this sweeping soap opera.
So this is some kind of a, of course, it's based on real history. All right.
It is, yes.
So it was a mixture of history and some kind of storytelling. Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely, it's interesting because the stories, as we found out about them, they were telling themselves. So we just intertwined all these incredible stories to make this one large epic. And it's a lot of fun because it's not only tells the story of the triumph of the athletes, but what they had to go through to even get there. For the games to even happen was a miracle. And, that was a big debate in America at the time, whether we should go or not. So things are very different now. I think politically, we would just say, no, we're not going. But back then, politicians did not want to get involved.
So, so how would you describe your novel? It's a novel. It happened during pre-World War II, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's some kind of historical background there, and so you have a story to tell, and so what is the moral lesson in your book?
Well, I think that I want to leave it up to the reader to think about how days of yore parallel days of now and how scary some of that is. So whether it's racism, misogyny, xenophobia, idolatry, it all happens now. Sexual confusion, like all of that happens in the book. And those are true stories. And the outcome was very scary of the reality of the situation. And I want people to get a sense of, it's kind of scary if we relive the past in such a way. And I want people to make those parallels, but I also want them to see what the athletes had to go through, because their achievements are so much greater when you find out what happened, what transpired to even get there.
So what kind of audience are you trying to attract with your book?
Well, I think there's a little bit of everything for everyone. And I want people from the ages of 16 to 85 to read it. I think that some of the stories, I think people are going to relate to at least one of them and just want to follow that storyline until the end. And so honestly, our youngest character is 13 years old and she's an American diver, and she's one of the sweetest characters in the book. And, our oldest are in their 70s and 80s. And some of these people you really feel for and you want to root for. So I think it's all ages. I want all ages to read this. I think it will inform them greatly.
Very good. So from 16 to 80
Yeah,
plus, of course. So,
definitely. And especially people who enjoy history, and historical fiction. I I think that they're really going to love this, and sports as well. People who love sports books I mean, they're going to love this.
have you injected uh, some kind of romance or
Oh yeah.
or
Oh yeah.
sports,
There's
sports in the
yeah.
background?
I mean, as a matter of fact, one of our main storylines, and this is actually true story, the American decathlete who won gold fell in love with the great German filmmaker Leni Riefenstahl, and they had a tumultuous affair during the games. So there is a lot of passion and a lot of romance throughout the whole book, and suspense, and joy and sadness, and so the book really has a little bit of everything.
Racism too.
Oh well, of course.
Of course.
Unfortunately, both on the German side and on the American side, and that's a big part of our bad guy in the book, and he's from Chicago. His name is Avery Brundage. He ran the American Olympic Committee, and he was a Nazi sympathizer and as anti-Semitic and racist as any of the Nazi friends that he had on the International Olympic Committee, which is where he wanted to end up being. So yeah, there's a lot of horrible events that take place in this.
Very, very interesting. Okay, Mr. Kaufman, where can our viewing audience get your book if they want to purchase?
Yeah, so you can get Played, the games of the 1936 Berlin Olympics, on Amazon Books, Barnes and Noble, and anywhere else online that they sell books. And you can also get the Audible, which I narrate. You can also get that on Amazon as well, in Audible.
All right, very good. Thank you so much for gracing our show today.
Thank you.
Before we sign off, one last word from your book.
Well, I really would like people to read it because I think they'll get a greater understanding of not only history, but what we're facing today. And I think it's really important to face the facts of history so you can get, like I said, a better understanding of the present, because we definitely need a better understanding of what's going on right now.
Very interesting. Okay. Are you planning to have sequel to your book?
No, we're not planning a sequel as of yet, but we are planning a mini series. So we're really pushing to get this thing made as a mini series.
All right. Keep us updated.
Yes. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing our show today. Mr. Richard Kaufman. All right. And I'm sorry about my throat. Okay. At maraming salamat. Thank you so much in our language for gracing our show today. And maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy your weekend. Bye!
Oh, dadan!
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica segment of the show. Today, I have a very exciting, interesting personality who will be talking to us about the upcoming Rogers Park Restaurant Week. And her name is Miss Sandy Price. Hi, Sandy. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, Veronica. Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay. Miss Sandy Price is the executive director of Rogers Park, Business Alliance, right?
Yes.
Alright. Okay, Sandy, there is a very exciting event that's coming up pretty soon. Can you? And this will be happening in Rogers Park. Can you please talk to our viewers about this exciting event, which is called the Restaurant Week 2, right?
Yes, yes. Chicago has its restaurant week, and some of the North Side community organizations thought it would be fun to do a restaurant week for the North Side. So we have about 50 restaurants among the different communities. Rogers Park is a part of Restaurant Week for North Side. It's Rogers Park, Andersonville, Edgewater, Lincoln Square, Ravenswood, North Center, Uptown. And each of these communities has restaurants have chosen to participate. And they have been asked to offer prefix menus, either for lunch, brunch, or dinner, or a combination of those, like Restaurant Week does. Each restaurant will be offering their special menus between March 1st and March 15th.
March 15. Around how many people are expected to attend in this kind of event? And of course, are the restaurants offering special low prices in their menus?
So they're not offering low prices in their menus. What they are offering is this prefix menu. And then for the most part, either there's something special that's not on the menu that they might be offering just for this Restaurant Week event, or it's a deal because you're getting either 3 or 4 courses with your meal. And so I believe that we've already heard that our public house, which is one of the restaurants in Rogers Park, couldn't keep up with the capacity this weekend. So that's really great to hear that they had so many people that were coming in to try their Northside Restaurant Week menu.
Okay, for how long has this been going on?
This is the first year. No, this is the first year. We've never done this before.
First year? Oh my goodness. Wow, I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
So far, you said there are about 40 or 50 restaurant participants?
Yes.
Around the Rogers Park area.
Not just Rogers Park, the north side of Chicago. So that includes all the other communities.
All right, very good. And so, Sandy, what is the purpose of this Restaurant Week? The Restaurant Week organization. Is it an organization? Yeah.
So Northside Restaurant Week is this coalition of different Northside business service organizations. And the hope is that usually this time of year, we don't have 70-degree weather. It's kind of cold and people don't want to leave their homes. And especially restaurants don't have, the winter is not their busy time because so many people don't go out and the weather's not great. So we thought this would be an opportunity to get people to come out to visit the businesses that are in their community, maybe get a sampling of things that they don't already know that this restaurant is offers. And so it's a great way to promote the restaurants, to get people to come out and visit the restaurants. They don't have to make advance reservations. They don't have to buy tickets in advance. We do recommend that they make reservations at the restaurants, but they don't have to buy tickets or anything. If someone is not interested in the Northside Restaurant Week menu, you could still go with friends, and people can order off the menu. So the regular menu is still available, and there's the special Northside Restaurant Week. So it's a way to get people to come out and try some new things and maybe visit some restaurants that they haven't been to before. We have 5 in Rogers Park. If I can list them, that would be great. We have Asian Station on Morse Avenue, Honey Bear Cafe and Smack Dab. Oh, they Asian Station is great because they do, it's not just Chinese or Thai or, like some of the restaurants. They do sushi, they do Thai, they do banh mi sandwiches, they do Chinese, they do everything. We also have Honey Bear Cafe and Smack Dab on Clark Street. We have our public house in Jarvis Square and Picnic Wine and Provisions on Sheridan Road. So we have diverse restaurants in diverse geographic areas of Rogers Park offering very diverse menus.
Wow, sounds very exciting. And this starts this coming weekend, right?
It started last week, this past weekend.
It started last week already.
Yes,
And
and it's Northside Restaurant Week, but it's really 2 weeks.
Okay, all right. Sounds very good. And I wish you good luck. And I know that this is your first year, and
Yes.
you're going to be repeating it again next year, and so on and so forth. All right. Okay. Please invite our viewing audience before we sign off.
Yes, we would love to see everyone. You can learn more about Northside Restaurant Week at our website, which is rpba for Rogers Park Business Alliance.org. And you can see all the restaurants that are participating and what they're offering at our website.
And it is the diverse participation, right?
Yes.
Terrific. All right, Sandy. I thank you for gracing our show today, and I wish you good luck with your restaurant week. And okay, and please keep us updated if you wish. All right.
Thank you. We will. I hope to see you out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. How I wish I could. All right, I'll get myself a driver and enjoy all those menus, exciting menus offered by those restaurant participants. And Sandy, maraming salamat sa iyong pagdating dito sa aming show, which is a thank you very much for gracing our show today. Right, and enjoy your weekend. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye! Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. At ako po si Veronica. Today, I have a very respectable, honorable person on our show for this interview. And his name is Judge Ross Hartigan. Did I pronounce your name right? Okay, how can I welcome Judge Hartigan in this show? Welcome to our show, Judge. Here comes our judge. All right. Welcome to our show. Judge Hartigan has been serving as a judge in the Cook County, right? The Circuit Court.
That's right.
All right. Very good. And let us ask Judge Hartigan to introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. And as I mentioned, I have a lot of friends in the Filipino community. I know how to pronounce pancit and adobe. I think it's called adoba. I've ate that food with families, and so I'm kind of familiar with the culture. I grew up on the west side of Chicago, and we moved to Oak Park, that's where my daughter lives now. I went to St. Ignatius High School on the west side of Chicago, DePaul University, played a little basketball, and then I went to John Marshall Law School. From then, I started practicing as a lawyer. I also taught a lot too. I taught at Morton College in Cicero part-time, and then I also taught for 20 some years at DePaul University, and I did have some Filipino students, and I've helped them also in law school, where I teach at Kent Law School part-time. I was a judge for 7 years, but because I was president of the Illinois State Bar, which is a statewide organization, I had to step off to maintain my presidential duties. And as a result, I want to get back on the bench. 7 years is not a lot for a judge. A lot of them are on the bench a lot longer. I've been highly qualified by the Chicago Bar Association. That's the highest qualification you can get. I'm also highly qualified by the Illinois State Bar. I'm probably one of the most highly qualified judges running in this election with the high bar ratings. And I have the experience as a judge being in a courtroom. I was a judge on many serious cases, a lot of them being malpractice cases, personal injury, and contracts and things of that nature. If it was a bench trial or a jury trial, I have a lot of jury trial experience. I represented the city of Chicago on litigated matters. I also represented the city of Evanston and other communities. There's a Filipino community out in DuPage who was run by a Filipino mayor, and I'm trying to remember the name, but I represented them. And I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Yes, that's in Glendale Heights. The
Right.
late Mayor Fajardo.
That's right. And I represented him. So I've had the ability to be involved in a lot of interesting legal cases. I don't think my competition or anybody running has the qualifications that I have and the experience and the level of leadership of a bar association, which has well over 75,000 members. And that's quite an honor to lead lawyers like that, to be in charge. I also ran for state representative in my area, and I was township supervisor, Lyons Township. So the bottom line is that I need your support. I'm highly qualified, as I mentioned. My punch number is 152, and the punch number. Also, my website is Russ, R-U-S-S, Hartigan, Hartigan, for judge.com. And that tells you a lot what's going on. And as I mentioned, the punch number 152. And I'm out there campaigning, going to all parts of Cook County. Cook County is the second largest county in America. It's a big county. And obviously I put a few miles on my car, and meeting people and going to churches and meeting people at church when the service is over. And I'm active in our church, Catholic Church, St. John of the Cross in Western Springs. It's a big church. It serves a lot of communities in the western suburbs. So that's about it. Do you know Aurora Abella Austriaco?
Yeah, I know Judge Austriaco. I know Judge Bandari. I know Judge. There's quite a few of them, and I know all of them. So suddenly there are so many Filipino judges.
Yes.
But I have a question. You are currently serving as a judge, right?
Yes.
And you also serve as the president of the Bar Association.
Well, not any longer, but I'm on the board, but I don't, the assembly. It's only a 1-year term, but I did serve as president.
Okay. my question is, you're running in this upcoming primary election on what? March, what's the date? March 18th?
It's March 19th. March 19th is the last day, the very last day that you can, vote. People are voting now. They're voting at courthouses. They're voting in Maywood, Skokie, Rolling Meadows, Bridgeview, Markham. Those are all courthouses that are open for voting.
And this is county-wide.
Yes, countywide. It goes all the way out, portions of Aurora and Elgin, portions of Bartlett, goes that far out, and portions of Hanover Park, portions of Buffalo Grove, and then you go south, and you pick up Hazel Crest and other south suburban areas that almost touch upon Indiana.
Okay, is this are you running for re-election? Or
well, I had to step off for to be president of State Bar, and also I was concerned about my wife who had a serious illness, and actually my daughter-in-law both had it at the same time, and they don't give you a leave of absence in Cook County. They don't allow you to step off for a time period. It's something that should change in the future, I think. And the other thing, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So you are running for judge in the Cook County area. Okay, of Illinois. All right. Okay. But what is your platform? Can you share with us the platform or the?
Well, I like to be as a person who was president of a bar association. I'd like to see where we could bring services to people in Cook County where they are able to at least get some advice from lawyers. One of the problems we have is people can't afford lawyers, and they need to have legal representation, and we have to figure that one out where they can go to a association to get some free legal advice, because in criminal matters you get a public defender. In civil matters you got to go and try to find a lawyer out in the public and try to, if hopefully you can afford the lawyer. I've seen this as a judge. I've seen it in landlord-tenant cases where they can't afford a lawyer. I've seen it in contract cases. I've seen it in property damage and on and on. So we have to do something to allow people to get some advice and maybe representation.
Representation for the multi-diverse population of Illinois, right? Which includes the Filipinos like us.
Well, that's right. And, a lot of Filipinos are in the medical field, and I've had a bunch of friends who are nurses and doctors, because I did that type of work. I represented hospitals and I represented nurses and through their insurance policy. And so I got to be familiar with the culture. And I know there are a bunch of islands in Philippines. Unfortunately, I've never been to the Philippines. I heard it's beautiful, and there's a lot of different islands. I know that. And I know they're very Catholic, and I'm very Catholic for that matter, and for what that's worth. And I enjoy being with them. They're nice people. They're educated. They're friendly, and I like them. And it's a good thing to be around them.
So you got to include to visit the Philippines in your in your calendar in the future, and you will love it. It's a beautiful country, and I've never been back there. Rhea. I mean, since for how many years now? I've been, since 2014. Anyway, okay. One last word, Judge, to appeal to our viewing audience for your candidacy.
One thing I forgot to mention, the Illinois Supreme Court put me on a committee, judicial performance, to help judges perform better. And I was on that committee to help judges, show up early, listen to people, don't interrupt, be friendly to people. I always open the courtroom with a smile, and I said, "Good morning, everyone." And I want to see people at ease. Nobody's going to the electric chair. So I mean, they are nervous because they don't know what's going to happen always. I try to educate them as far as if you plead guilty, maybe it won't be a mark on your record, and you'll take maybe a small fine or something. And you tell them that, especially if they don't have a lawyer. And I try to at least educate them in terms of what they're doing, and always the correct thing. When I was in traffic court, I was so good that I handled 3 courtrooms almost at the same time. I would zip into one, zip into another, and zip into the third one, and they were shortage of judges at a certain time. So I know how to handle a call. I know how to be respectful to people.
Wow, that's nice to hear from a judge. Respectful to people. All right, and you get respect back when you.
Well, I hope so, in the form of a vote.
You are a very good judge, and I thank you for gracing our show today. It is our honor, the Honorable Russ Hartigan, to be on our show today. And I wish you good luck in the upcoming election.
Thank you. The punch number is 152.
152 punch number. Remember that, 152. We'll try to put this, Sonia, on the frame. Okay. Thank you so much, Judge Artigan. And I will be watching the polls. I will be voting for you. I live in Cook County. For sure.
152.
152. All right. How many judges are running this time?
Not as many as in the past. Not as many. Some are not being contested. They don't have an opponent. I have a opponent, but her credentials don't match mine at all in terms of all the things I've done and the bar ratings, the Chicago bar and the Illinois State bar.
Oh, okay. Wow. I wish you good luck. And
thank you. Always a pleasure.
All right. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, Judge Hartigan. Let's vote for him. Punch number 152. Correct? Bye.
Correct.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po. Good afternoon, this is Bridget Carino-Cueto bringing you this week's local news from our community. Illinois State Rep. LaShawn Ford from Chicago argues legislation that opens the ranks of the Chicago Fire Department to non-citizens does little to address the systemic discrimination he says has long plagued it. As originally filed, House Bill 4045 would amend the Illinois Municipal Code and the Fire Protection District Act by establishing that non-citizens legally authorized to work in the country under federal law are eligible to apply for the position of firefighter, subject to all other requirements and limitations. I hope that the sponsor pulls the bill and we have a bill that deals with hiring practices and also makes sure that we have some type of standards in place because these are taxpayer dollars, Ford said. The Illinois Department of Transportation is teaming up with the Illinois State Police and more than 200 local law enforcement agencies to promote Distracted Driving Awareness Month, reminding motorists to drop it and drive. Throughout April, law enforcement officers will work together to enforce texting and distracted driving laws. During Distracted Driving Awareness Month, police will boost enforcement efforts, stopping anyone they see, texting and driving. Reminder: you drive, you text, you pay. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, between 2012 and 2021, approximately 32,000 lives were lost in crashes involving distracted drivers. Everyone has the potential for distracted driving crashes, but those between the ages of 16 and 24 are especially at risk. If you need to text, pull over to a safe location. Or if you have a passenger, consider appointing a designated texter. Whatever the solution, don't text and drive. The Illinois Department of Transportation is hosting free virtual workshops in April as part of its continuing Building Blocks of Success series for disadvantaged business enterprise firms interested in strengthening their skills, growing their businesses, and bidding on state projects. New and existing DBEs, as well as firms interested in becoming certified in the program, are invited to attend. Through Governor J.B. Pritzker's historic bipartisan Rebuild Illinois, IDOT is helping to deliver the largest capital program in state history while promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. The Illinois Department of Insurance celebrates the 14th anniversary of the Affordable Care Act, ACA, and welcomes the new acting state-based marketplace director who will help lead the SBM, also known as the Illinois Health Benefits Exchange. The SBM is slated to start enrolling Illinoisans during the ACA Marketplace open enrollment period, beginning November 1st, 2025. Governor Pritzker signed legislation last summer authorizing the SBM for Illinois to create a more consumer-focused health insurance exchange and better identify traditionally uninsured communities. The ACA, enacted in March 2010, has provided access to comprehensive health insurance coverage for millions of Americans, including coverage for pre-existing conditions, contraceptives, and essential health benefits that cover preventative care and screenings, prescription drugs, and mental health and substance use treatment. On April 8, some 31 million people living in a 100-plus mile path stretching from Texas to Maine will be able to witness a rare total solar eclipse, while people in all contiguous U.S. states will be able to see at least a partial eclipse. The path of totality will pass through the state as much of southern Illinois will be able to experience a total eclipse. Compared to the most recent solar eclipse in August 2017, the viewing path for the 2024 total eclipse is wider and passes over more cities and densely populated areas. The upcoming eclipse is also expected to last almost twice as long, at about 4.5 minutes. During the eclipse, it's estimated that portions of southern Illinois could see an influx of over 300,000 people into the area to view the event in its totality. A large number of people estimated to travel to view the eclipse could lead to major traffic issues and potential fuel shortages. Communication systems may also experience disruptions due to heightened demand. Areas of Illinois that could receive the largest number of travelers include Carbondale, Mount Vernon, Effingham, and much of the southern tip of the state. This April, The Illinois Department of Public Health will be celebrating 30 Days of Public Health, an extended observance of National Public Health Week that also coincides with National Minority Health Month. The month-long slate of activities is intended to engage Illinoisans and raise awareness about all that public health does to keep individuals healthy and safe. The activities will highlight the purpose of public health departments and their connection to the healthcare system, the profession in general and the career options it provides, and also spotlight those who dedicate their time and energy to serving the people of Illinois. Governor J.B. Pritzker kicked off the observances with a video message. I am especially proud that here in Illinois, IDPH is extending the celebration to last the full month of April and marking 30 days of public health, Governor Pritzker said. On this first day of April, the American Public Health Association is drawing attention to the intersection of civic engagement and public health. I encourage all Illinoisans to celebrate our public health workers and to also do their part to make our state the best and healthiest it can be. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.